Hello. Drinking beer. And we're smoking a cigarette today. I got the hermit card for my general energy today, so this is a little bit out of character. I also got like the Ten of Swords, so this is wrong, but all right. My nails. Hello, person. Would you like a tarot reading? Type your question in the chat if you want a tarot reading. I deadlifted 140 kilograms this morning. Hip thrust 120. Pretty sweet. Pretty good. So I saw Chelsea Wolfe in Wellington last week. And I stayed at a hostel for 5 days and I hung out in Wellington. Chelsea Wolfe was awesome. I did interpretive dance I didn't take a single photo or video. I just did interpretive dance, like this kind of stuff, like the entire time, which I think caused like some weird energy around me because the girls around me started to do it. Because there's this girl next to me, she was like trying to rock out. She was like, yeah. She was like doing this kind of thing. And then I was like in this other world. And so she was kind of like blending with what I was doing. And then when the show was over, I could tell she wanted to like talk to me, but I just like left. And then I went to the strip club. And when I went to the strip club, the bouncers thought I was auditioning or something, or they thought I was there to like see the manager. They're like, "Oh, Sydney's not in today." I was like, "Oh no, I just want to see the girls." They were like, I was like, "Yeah, I just appreciate the art form." So I went in there and yeah, I hung out with the strippers and gave out like $100 in tips and talked to this guy. And this old man, he was a Pisces. He like didn't want me to leave. And that was kind of the theme of Wellington. I would like kind of like make friends, and then they didn't want me, or like the kind of like the beginnings of friendships, and then I would just kind of leave. And my friend Paulina, she's a psychic. She's like very psychic, and she lives in Peru, and I talk to her every day now. So she's like my best friend. She's like my fucking best friend. We talk every day. Who's that? That's wild. Christopher. Hello, Christopher. I'll give you a tarot reading in a little bit. Tarot, I want to talk about so Chelsea Wolfe, and she's like almost gonna be 40, but she's got her body looking like a 19-year-old, and she's got fake boobs and everything. So she lives in Peru, and lived in New Zealand, and she's thinking about coming back and stripping just for some extra cash. And so I went to the old club. It's called Mermaids. I went there because she was talking about like wanting to strip there again, like for some money, like on a holiday. and bringing her boyfriend. So, so yeah, and then I stayed in the hostel, and the hostel was okay. It was pretty nice. It was like the nicest hostel in Wellington, pretty much. And but there was one night where I was like sort of in between wake and sleep, and I was having like hypnagogic like ramblings with some spirits. And we were like talking about my father and about how my father like only loved me like conditionally. And then somehow it switched up, and there were these naked spirits laying next to me, like in the bed. And I had like semi like sleep paralysis, and I was aware that I was sleeping. I was kind of like going into the astral, and they were like they just laid down next to me. They were completely naked. And there were 3 of them, and one of them poked me on the chest, and I was like, "Oh fuck no." I didn't know what the fuck was going on. It just felt very like specific to the location that I was at or something. Like this was coming from it just felt really strange. So I'm like a master of getting out of sleep paralysis. Like I never get stuck. I can always like get out. So I got myself out, and then I felt really spooked because I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I talked to Paulina, and she said, "Oh yeah, like hostels, hotels, they always have like spirits lingering around, and like your best bet is to just try to close your eyes and get to sleep as quickly as possible at a hotel or at a hostel, just because the different energies and the like sex and people going in and out, and just like, there's a lot of like the energy field at a at a hotel, a hostel, or something like that is like is like frenetic. So a lot of things are like coming in and out. So like these spirits just kind of glom on to these places where there's a lot of like things going on. So yeah, that was spooky. Um and so then I went to this so then I went to so I was really spooked because it was like quite it was different, like I have a lot of lucid and astral stuff, but this was like very like they were weird, they were strange. They didn't seem too crazy. Like I've been through enough shit where it wasn't too crazy, but the next day I was like I've been getting into like tarot a lot more recently, so I've been like studying the tarot a little bit. And I was like, I wanted to get an oracle deck. So I was like, I let me find like a place that sells oracle decks. So I went to this place. It was called Capricorn Rising. I'm a Capricorn. So I went there, and I got these 2 decks. They're kind of cutesy. They're a bit kitschy. This is called The Secret Garden. And then the Hafiz Oracle. So this is a specific spirit. So I talked to this spirit. I've been talking to this spirit. I read the little booklet, and this is a specific spirit that this person channeled, who is like, I don't know if this is like a famous spirit or something, but I read the little booklet, and so I've been like communing with Hafiz, and Hafiz has been giving me, messages and stuff. So, but I was like, so I could tell she was the big boss lady. Like there were other people. There was this one girl who was flitting around, and she was like pandering to me because of my aura or something like that. And so I could tell there was this one matriarch, like just sort of stationed there. So I was like, "This is your shop, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, I was like, "So why'd you name it Capricorn Rising? Are you a Capricorn? Do you have a Capricorn rising?" And she's like, well, I'm actually a Capricorn. She was like in her 50s or 60s. I said, "Oh, wow, I'm a Capricorn too." And she said, "What's your birthday?" And I said, "January 17th." And she said, "Oh, my birthday is January 18th." So that was a cool little synchronicity. So then, I picked up these 2 oracle decks, and she said these are her 2 current favorite oracle decks that she's working with right now. So that was another cool thing. And I got the oracle decks. They were $50 each. That's a lot of money, but so I spent $100 on oracle decks. And then went to this Victorian. So Paulina told me to go to this Victorian perfume shop, which I did. That sold Victorian. They perfume. I spent a long time in there with a guy who was like a maestro of perfumes. He stood there. He like knew exactly what he was doing. He was like a nerd about perfumes, and I got this perfume, so I've been spraying it. It's woody and floral. Because he's like, what do you like normally like? I said, I like cedarwood and I like patchouli. Those are my two favorite kind of like scents. So he's like, oh, so you're into like the woody kind of stuff. And so we went into like the woody stuff but then I found this one that was woody and kind of floral. And I got that and I spray it. So I've been spraying it and it's like this cool lucky charm. You know, I'm a Capricorn, so I like the material stuff as well. So, and it lasts all day. This is a good quality perfume. It was expensive as well. So I'm very happy that she sent me there. And it smells like it's giving me these like ancestral memories of Victorian era or something. It's like, it's incredible. So I wear that. It's a little confronting as a smell. It's a statement. It's almost a statement. And and he's like, this is a statement smell. And I was like, yeah, this is a bit of a statement smell. So I've been wearing that. And, what else? Oh yeah, my grandfather. So my grandfather, who I never met, visited me in a dream. So I was talking to a spirit, and the spirit was saying, because I was supposed to go to the gym. I have a lot of stories. I've had a lot of dreams. So my dream work has been like ramping up. I think he might want to leave. He's getting secondhand smoke, which is also not good. Oh yeah, I don't smoke. I haven't smoked a cigarette in like 2 months. So I just decided to smoke one today, kind of as tobacco, shamanism, whatever. Get him out of here. You going, boy? Make a choice. In or out. Okay, you'll stay in. You'll stay in. You'll stay in and you're gonna come. You stay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my grandfather. That was a weird one. I was talking to a spirit. This is Mr. Boy. This is my dog. We jog at night under the stars. We jogged last night under the stars, and then sexy boy, you know that song by Air, Sexy Boy, that came on last night. That was a cool synchronicity. That was the spirits talking to me, because I was talking to my goth friend. And I told him, because he was supposed to do MDMA with me in Wellington. This is haphazard. I'm sorry. He was supposed to do MDMA with me in Wellington. You know, he's a Capricorn too. But he was avoiding me because he only likes to hang out with me when he's drunk or high. And I don't think he was quite drunk or high enough. So he's a bit nervous temperament. And I said, you're not going to call me tomorrow. He's like, yeah, we'll do MDMA. I'm like, you're not going to call me. I was like, you're going to be like, and I don't know, it came to me in like this divine intervention. I was like, you know the band Air? And he's like, oh yeah, Air, sexy boy. I was like, yeah, sexy boy. And we were both like, sexy boy. I was like, you're going to feel like a sexy boy tomorrow and you're not going to want to hang out with me at all. And alas, he didn't want to hang out with me. He's too nervous. He's on the dole. He's just this goth guy that is Ashley's best friend. They have been friends since they were 14. They used to flat together. But and then Sexy Boy came on, yesterday, just randomly on my shuffle on my while we were jogging under the stars, under the Capricorn moon. And I haven't listened to Air since 2012. So either the phone is listening or the spirits are talking to me. So but then I was talking to the spirits in my dream, and I was supposed to go to the gym. My alarm went off. I pressed snooze and I went back into the astral. I was talking to the spirits and they're like, you're just like your grandpa. I was like, whoa, because I never met my grandpa. And they like, he would just sit in the morning with a stack of pancakes and do nothing all morning. I was like, really? I was like, can I talk to him? And they're like, yeah, I can get a message if you'd like me to get a message from him. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then poof, out of nowhere, my leg violently shook. Like violently shook. And I was like, what? And I woke up out of the astral. So that was grandpa. He like zapped my leg. And then I made some black metal music in a dream the other night. Last night a spirit told me that you had a bad day yesterday because you bought a smoothie from a shop. I'm getting cold. I'm like fucking cold. I'm gonna go. Hold on. Get a jacket. Um oh yeah, last night I had a lot of weird ones. I talked about robots to spirits last night. And also as I was waking up, a spirit was telling me that you had a bad day yesterday because you had a smoothie from a shop. Because I got a smoothie from the cafe. And the spirit said that they said that the energetic signature of the service worker was in that smoothie, which had like a domino effect in like so I took the energy of the person who made my smoothie, and it carried out and created this like bad, like kind of, I had like a tedious day. And so then I was thinking about the sort of karmic energetic signature of all the harvesters, hunters, and chefs of all throughout human history, and just the level to which human history has been augmented by the chain of the people and things that have happened. You know, mothers who are tired and beat down and had like worked a 10-hour day, and then they have to go cook like a meal for their family at the end of the day, and they're just chopping the potatoes and like all that energy, and then like their little innocent child eats it, and like all that like the kind of energetic signature of the person making your food. And this goes into kitchen witchery, which is a whole branch of like witchcraft actually. Evil juju smoothie. Yeah, so it was an evil smoothie, yeah. And I'm getting like I'm getting like really refined advice now from spirits about my choice making, and about my consumer choice making. And it brought to mind, just I think as history trudges forward, I feel like the consumer landscape is going to get more refined in terms of people's choices about brands and where they get their things, and growing things on their own plot, on their own earth. And the state of consciousness of the person making your food, at someone who's like getting paid minimum wage, and they're flatting with like 5 other people, and they just got back from like an all-night bender, and they got 3 hours of sleep, and they come to work like disheveled with like yesterday's makeup on their face, and they're like making your food. Like that energy is going into you. The advice was basically the best thing you can do is like make your own food. I'm freaking freezing. It's winter here, and New Zealand houses don't have heaters. Okay. Why? Our power bill is $400 a month. We have a single little heater that we plug into the wall that heats the whole house. So anyways, do you want a tarot card reading? Oh, and I did conduct a black metal song in my dream the other night, and there was a baby, and I was looking for the witch, and I found the witch. A long white hand came out of a corridor. I grabbed the hand, I went into a wormhole, and then I was holding a witch baby. And then a black metal music started playing, and I started singing the black metal lyrics, plus conducting the music, plus I was crafting this baby into a fully formed, perfectly sculpted witch female adult. while I was also conducting a black metal song. It was amazing. And then I started shooting power into its third eye, and then it turned into this androgynous man that was kind of wicked looking, and I started screaming like in the black metal, like screaming and like shooting power into its that was like a really power witchcraft esoteric like left hand path strange dream. Like I don't go for those often. I'm often on like the purity kind of side of things, and like don't harm animals, don't harm people, don't whatever. But that was fun, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's what I've been fucking up to. Christopher? And yeah, Chelsea Wolf, that was really fun. Do you have a lot of flying dream? Yeah, I fly all the time. I fly almost every night. That's easy. Yeah, just in terms of transportation, I got back on the vape as well. So I have a nicotine habit. It's my last remaining habit, really. I haven't drunk a beer in a couple weeks, so this is the first beer I've had. Just like to let everyone know that I'm pious and stuff. Power dreams. Yeah, power dream. I have some kind of power dreams. I have like battling of wits dreams. I have like sometimes power dreams, or um I have karmic dreams, like working out my karma dreams. I have a lot of just astral hypnagogic, like working through my karma, my childhood, and my patterns and my habits and my type of thing. But I think I'm pretty clean. I'm pretty squeaky clean, actually. A lot of it is just kind of like recessive. Um, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty fucking good. I don't dwell on the past. I don't like, you know, I don't I don't like dig up the past and like try to make a like I don't like I'm not like thinking about like what my mother did and like what went I don't really I don't really go through that kind of stuff anymore. I'm not even that negative. I'm pretty positive all day. All day I'm a silly Billy most of the time. I'm just silly. I'm like mostly silly. I'm silly. Like I'm like the laughing Buddha kind of archetype. I'm kind of like that. That's my main archetype, no doubt. No cap is like the laughing Buddha. I just like to have a whimsical time mostly. And I work with children. I'm always just whimsical. But yeah, I have like tediousness. I feel that. Yeah. Like I can be very good. I can have like a lot of like deep critical thought. And with Paulina, she's like my sister. And she calls me her sister. So like that's my sister. And she has a Scorpio moon and rising as well. And we have a lot of these like long-winded conversations about stuff in the night, but we are also I don't know, we aren't really I went to her mom's house. So her mom lives in Wellington. I went and I creeped on her mom's house and I took a video of it and I went right to her mom's door and I sent that video to her and then she said that she had a vision of her mom if her mom was to come and stay with her, like there would be some sort of like mutual suicide or like she would commit suicide or her mom would commit suicide or something. Her and her mom have a really anyways, Paulina's my sister. It's just something that witches do sometimes, but for the most part, we're just like, like kind of just trying to have a laugh in this life. Cause I think that me and her and some of us and like even my boyfriend and a lot of the people I've been around have had like a bit of a hard time. And so now we're just trying to like enjoy the small pleasures and certain things. And like, I like to lift really heavy weights and like jog. I jog for an hour 3 or 4 times a week. This week I did 3 times a week, but usually 4 times a week. With my dog, under the stars, under the moon. I make prayers. Every night I do Palo Santo blessings over the whole house, over everybody I know. I also thank the people directly because I don't just like I like that kind of marriage of like spirit and science kind of thing. So I don't just like give over my entire agency to spirit. I like to like in my mind, in my soul, kind of like thank they thank the house, thank myself for what I my own free will and the things that I'm actually doing and the choices that I make. And I also thank the spirit, and I also I generally invite the spirits to like also be a part of that. And yeah, they bless me and I get blessings every night. So I'm at a good place with my like witchcraft for the most part. Yeah. And like in terms of like hedonism, I only do it like on the rare occasion, and that's blessed. And yeah, I'm not like a waster. And I maintain a full-time job and stuff, and I'll be finishing my degree this time next year. And I think I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna do a master's in speech and language therapy. So helping children, often like autistic and like differently abled children, like who are having trouble speaking, develop a plan for them to start speaking. And oddly enough, another synchronicity, there's this one autistic kid named Genius. His name was Genius, and he came from a Nepalese family, and they were vegetarian. The dad was vegetarian and like into yoga and stuff, and I was like into all that stuff too. It was a strange synchronicity. We had a lot of similarities, and they invited me over to their house to have food a lot of times. And I got really close with this family, but they ended up not liking it down here, and they moved to Christchurch, which is a different city. It's more multicultural, and I think they feel more at home here. In terms of the immigrant experience can be difficult depending on where you are in New Zealand. So Christchurch is more friendly, has a big Nepalese community, but he said he was a teacher in Nepal for 7 years, and he's gonna start and he has like a 10,000 followers on his Facebook, and like he's like got a big following, and he's gonna start some sort of like program for teachers from New Zealand to train Nepalese teachers in or something. He wants me to be the head of this program, and he said all tickets, paid expenses to Nepal to train these teachers. In different methods for different method. I don't know what it was, something about me going to Nepal and helping their teachers become better teachers. So he said he's getting funding from different community organizations to do that, and so he said I'm on the top of his list for someone to come and go do that. And so anyway, I said, oh wow, I have to think about that and let me know how the plan unfolds. And I'd be keen to try that, or to do that. Go to Nepal. It's for the Buddha. The Buddha's from Nepal. Anyway, I feel that. So yeah. Anyway. Do you want a tarot card reading? Are you from Canada? You from Canada? Christopher. I wish I had another cigarette. I'm from Alabama. Alabama? Have you ever... Alabama. Old Alabama. Have you heard that song, Old Alabama? Old Alabama. Have you heard that? It's like an old hymn. Sweet Home, not Sweet Home Alabama. It's a song that goes, Old Alabama. I forget who sings it. I don't know who sings it. Old Alabama. It's like an old hymn. Sweet Home Alabama. Lord, I'm coming home to you. Sweet Home Alabama. Christopher, how old are you, sir? I'm 32, bro. You're on the cusp. You're like you're a cusper. You're a Gen Z millennial cusper. Are you subscribed to my channel? The first card for you is embodiment. Just popped out. Fucking cold. Fucking cold. I'm cold. Putting that Capricorn energy into your reading. How do you feel about Capricorns? I just want to know. How do you feel about Capricorns? Be honest. I can handle it. New managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Goodbye. How do you feel about Capricorns? Are you there? Are you there, bro? Yeah, I've been subscribed for a while. I've only dated Leo, and that was a mistake. I usually like Libras. Paulina's a Libra. I like this one Libra at my work. Her name is Frankie. She's 4 years old. I tell her that she's the witch of being nice. And she's the witch of friendship. And that she's the witch of butterflies. And that she's the witch of the planet Venus. And she says, what other type of witch am I? I said, you're the witch of giving kisses. I told her that she's the witch of I told her that she's the witch of government, but she didn't understand what that meant. I told her that she's the witch of law and order, but she didn't really understand what I was talking about. And the other Scorpio witch, I told her that she's the witch of being naughty. And that she's the witch of being cheeky. And that she's the witch of Pluto. And that she's the witch of scorpions. And that she's the witch of the desert. And that she's a water witch. And I told the Libra that she's an air witch. She's a wind witch, not air. I told her she's a wind witch. You're a Virgo, August 27th. That's the same as my best friend, and that's the same as this girl at work. And I recently, so she just broke up with this guy that had like a daughter, and like they were in this heavy relationship. And I knew this guy at work, and I was like, or I knew this guy at the gym, and she's like into the gym, and I knew that they would be a good couple because like I can just tell, or I knew that they would be good or something. I was like, you should look into this guy Ryan, because she was feeling all sad. I could tell she was feeling sad, so I said, you could look into this guy Ryan. And so there's a lot of synchronicities around this. Country music actually happens to be part of this. A country music festival. We were listening. Anyways, so she saw him at the country music festival, and she grabbed his bicep and said, "Ooh, pretty strong." And then they like hooked up that night. And so now they've been in this like situationship since then. And yeah, I kind of hooked them up because I told her to, because she stalked him on Facebook. And she's like, thanks for the tip about Ryan. And she's like all chirpy now, really happy. I think he's like, whatever is happening is good. And like a Virgo relationship. So if you're looking for relationships, Virgo, really good combination. I'm with a Capricorn, really good. Be with your own sign. That's what I think. Makes life peaceful. Makes life easy. It's like a greeting to yourself. It's like you're greeting yourself through yourself. All the fractals are aligned. Virgo relationship. That's really good. Virgo is also good with like a Taurus. Virgo good with Pisces. Virgo not so good with Capricorn, but kind of good. My best friends, it's like it's not right, but it's good. Like it shouldn't. Capricorn doesn't like fully understand Virgo. Like I don't fully understand Virgo. There's something a little too I don't know. It's like too. Virgos are a little too like into the nitty gritty, like the fine detail, the like not the web of like Capricorns are also Capricorn's kind of like the master builder. Virgo's kind of like the sifting around and like putting things into organization, some kind of organization, and it's like the intestines. It's like all the intestines in the stomach. Capricorn's like the knees. It's like literally the body running forward. It's like a cardinal sign, you know. Virgo is more of a mutable sign, so it's just those intestines and just things flowing, just constantly flowing through. Yeah, there's a material compatibility. They're both earth signs, but it's like it's not a complete marriage of. Virgos are really high strung. Yeah, they can be really high strung. They can be, yeah. Yeah. Like my Virgo friend is like pretty much OCD. Meticulously keeps the house and like OCD and like thought loops and stuff. And I've had that kind of stuff too, but I got rid of that stuff. Like I only had that stuff for a little bit. So you know what? Interestingly enough, I have every other planet, every other sign, I have some kind of aspect, like, or house or sign in astrology, I have some kind of aspect in. Virgo is the only house and planet and sign that I have nothing to do with. It is the complete void in my chart. Is I don't, it's like it's the complete blind spot in my chart is Virgo. I have no Virgo energy at all. But I love Virgos. I do. Because my best friend, my longest best friend since I was 15 is a Virgo. And she has your same birthday. And she's psychic. She's pretty much psychic. And she's the best person I know. I love how good Virgos are. Like a Virgo can't tell a lie. Pretty much. I love Virgos. Yeah, they could be high strung. That's just the Mercury. It's like overdrive, Mercury overdrive. We live in the Virgo supercluster. We live in the Virgo supercluster. Do you mean you? Or like society as a whole? Ugh. I'm really cold. I'm like shaking. The Virgo supercluster. No, we're living in a Pisces apocalypse is what we're living in. It's an old world regime of these like monolithic old religious kingdoms are dying as we're trying to enter into it's the last dying breaths of the Piscean age is what we're in currently. Or so I'm told. Baby, I'm walking on sunshine. I don't know what's going on. I live in New Zealand. Everything's easy peasy pumpkin squeezy. I'm really living in my own world, and I know that's like new age. What do you call it? Bypassing or something, but I'm sensitive, so I can't really I can't like I got into reels only 2 months ago. Like reels on Instagram, and I pretty much got fried from it. Like it really ruined me. It hurt me. It hurt me. And so I can't watch reels anymore. Yeah, I keep a really closed life, like a really controlled life. And I do everything in silence now. I do my yoga in silence. I don't do my jogging in silence. Like when I jog, I listen to music. But gym, I just listen to whatever's playing at the gym. I drive home in silence. I wake up in silence. I go to bed in silence. I spend a lot of, and like it, and I basically got told that would be like the best path for me. I can't download TikTok. Yeah. I could never do TikTok or anything like that. Hi, Leo. Speaking of Leos, Christopher says he doesn't like Leos. Are you a Leo? We've got another person up here, up in this bitch. He's a Leo. Bada boom, bada bang. Leo, eh? What's that like? May I please ask a question? Yes, you may. I was just talking to my friend Christopher. He's from Alabama. But Leo, before I begin, can I get your age and your gender? And yeah, ask your question. You're 26 female. Oh, a 26-year-old female Leo. Okay. And what's your question, girl? I'll put this card away and we gotta reshuffle the deck now for you. Raw. Yeah, raw as fuck. Raw. Wow, Leo. Meow. How does Ainslian feel about me? Did I pronounce that right? Ainslian? Anslian? Is it Anslian? Ainslian? Anislian? Just kidding. Or like a meow, yes. How about that? How does Ainsleyan feel about me? Let's call him Jerome. No, we need to know his real name. Is it Ainsleyan? Ainsleyan. That's a weird name anyway. Let's call him Jerome. I call him Ainsleyan. You call him Ainsleyan. What does his mama call him? How does he? You want to know how he feels about you? How curious. I love reading. All right. Wait. You're a Leo. I just need to gather all the energy. And what's your name? Ainsleyan. Ainsleyan, 26, female. What's your name? Yashura. Yashura! I've read for you before, Yashura. Is this the same motherfucker that you were talking about some months ago? Oh my God. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. All right. No, I think it's a different guy. You have a different guy now. Okay. Leo's moved on. Sure. Okay. This is an oracle card. What's the general energy for this bond between Ainsleyan and Yashura? Peace. The first oracle card I'm getting is peace. So maybe this is like a breath of fresh air after the last guy that we were talking about some months ago. Often, like, we'll be attracted to one person or we'll be in a relationship with one person, they'll fade out, and then some new person will come in, and they'll have some sort of attributes or characteristics to them that act as like a contrast or like a counterbalancing to the person. Like, they'll have some qualities that the person before was missing, or they'll have some sort of aspect that the other person was basically like missing or didn't have or something like that. So maybe where the other person was creating a sense of chaos, this person is now creating within you, or the dynamic between you two has a semblance of peace. And you're saying yes. So peace, that's really cool. How do you feel about, as a Leo, how do you feel about peace? Peace for a Leo. So there's like, it's not like a fiery energy, like peace. Do you want to see the card? Oh man, the lighting in here is ridiculous. Can I cover it or do something? Sorry, the lighting in this room is really bad. But yeah, this is the card, peace. 22 peace. 22, and that's a 22. 2 twos. 2 twos. Oh my goodness. Peace. Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting a good sense. Another card for the energy of the dynamic between Ainsleyan and Yashura. Ainsleyan, is that his name? Ainsley or whatever the fuck his name is. Oof. Receive. I'm getting receive. We could clarify this in the green butterfly. These cards are not significantly in their artistic approach. There's not a lot to like actually. It almost looks like AI art. It's really poppy. It's kind of kitschy. There's not a lot of like symbolism in the actual imagery, but we're getting a green butterfly, and I'm getting a sense of receive. Maybe he's good at cunnilingus. receive. The dynamic between receive. I mean, he's coming into you. You're receiving. Maybe you're receiving peace. Maybe after a period of receiving chaos. Receive. Maybe spirit is asking you to receive this person. Okay, I'm only going to pull 2 cards. I'm not like a huge fan of oracle cards. I really like the tarot, the Rider-Waite. Hafiz, should we ask Hafiz? I don't think we're going to ask Hafiz. We're just going to go straight into the Rider-Waite. I do what I want. So I'm going to do that. You sure? I'm drinking a beer tonight. The moon's in Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. We just had a full moon in Sagittarius. It was raining, so I couldn't jog that night. I usually love to jog under a full moon. You know me. I'd jog under a full moon, any full moon, but I couldn't do it this time. So I had to stay inside. Receive this blessing of peace. That's actually optimistic. This is looking optimistic for you, but I'm here to also, you know, give you the reality of this, because usually heterosexual sexual relationships are fraught with little roundy-bowdy problems. I find that gay relationships are usually the purest. Yes, there was chaos in my life, and he is more stable. Yeah. Receive this peace. Well, the oracle cards are telling me that. And bear in mind, I don't know, because these oracle cards I've only been using for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not like a friend of them yet. So when they speak to me, I'm kind of like, oh, that's curious. That's a curious notion. But I'm not like, I don't feel them in my bones. So that's what came out, you know, and I'm not saying I always trust spirit. And that's what makes my readings good, is because I trust spirit and I trust the nature of the universe to be kind of like a tarot deck. And like literally, like I was on a forest trip the other day, and like I knew we were going to get a blessing from a wood pigeon. I was just waiting for it to happen. And the whole theme of the forest trip with these children was based around birds, and we had bird feathers and we had bird whistles, and we were talking about the bird songs. Finally, at the very tail end, we had a wood pigeon, which is this New Zealand, it's called a kereru, and it's this brilliantly colored giant. I know it's just a pigeon. A pigeon is but it's like this giant bird, and when it expands its wings and it makes this swoosh, it makes this loud swooshing sound, and it's just this like epic bird of New Zealand. And I was just waiting for it to bless us, and it was at the very tail end as we were walking back to the van, and we finally got a kereru. And I was like, yes. And I knew it was going to happen. That was 3 days ago. And that was on a Monday. That was on Tuesday. So yeah, everything's a method. Everything in like, yeah, I like to play little games like that with my reality. Like, when's the bird going to bless me? What's this it just keeps life interesting and keeps you in contact with spirit. Yeah, so but yeah, I've been thinking about that marriage of spirit and science lately. The marriage of spirit and science, you know. We got to keep a critical eye on these things. And I think that's kind of a Capricorn thing. The marriage of spirit and science. Anyway, that's been my recent thing. Okay, Yushura. Let me get his fucking proper name. What the fuck is this guy's name? Ainsley? Ainsley? Is it Anslin? Anslin. Anslin. Yeshua and Anslin. What is the general energy between Yeshua and Anslin? Spirit. What is the general energy between Yeshua and Anslin? General energy between Spirit and Anslin. Okay. The first card I'm getting is the Two of Pentacles. So I'm getting like there's just like a practical balance between the two of you. This isn't a card of like deep emotion. So I'm getting like peace. You know, peace was the first card that came out. And you see the infinity symbol here, which is another kind of sign of symbol of peace. You see that? Yeah, I can't do it with my finger now, but the infinity symbol. This kind of sign. It's a forever symbol. It's a symbol of marriage traditionally. But practical peace, maybe like combining your finances, like in a long-term situation, this isn't looking too bad. It's not looking like the fiery, throes of passion or something like that, but it's looking like kind of like a stable, like balancing act that the two of you could like be in this sense of peace or combining finances, or like you go on a date, he pays for dinner one night, or you guys like split the bill, or like these little it's kind of like the nitty-gritty of relationships. It's where like there's a sense of like shared duties, like he does, you cook dinner, he washes the dishes and things like that. This is kind of like a shared sense of like awareness of what each other is putting into the relationship and making things equal. So this isn't like the ultimate sign of balance. That would be maybe more of a Libra card. I'm trying to think what like one of those cards where like they're holding like the balances or something like that. But this is speaking to a shared sense of like a mutual understanding of like what the other is putting into the relationship in terms of their efforts, um and their finances, practically balanced. So there's a balance there. Okay, well, let's get some more. No. Yeshua and Anslin. What's the energy? Anslin. Yeshua and Anslin. Balance. Equal contribution. Peace. Oh my goodness. Okay. Another Pentacles card. We got the Nine of Pentacles. This is abundance. This speaks to wealth, riches, like practical fulfillment. Like maybe he has a lot of money or you have a lot of money, or somehow together your combined efforts, you guys have a lot of money, you guys have a lot of freedom, you guys have a lot of ability to move left, right, and center. He does. She says he does. Yeah. Abundance. And I think something to keep in mind is if he's got like the money, in these kind of relationships, you're also contributing something equally, like, so whatever you're contributing, he might like pay for stuff, but you have some sort of contribution to him, whether it be blowjobs or whatever it might be. Leo. Rawr, meow, whatever. You're an equal contributor in this. So he's got some financial stability or something. There's a sense of abundance in this connection. The problem there's a third party. The problem there's a third party. Will you bring this up to me now? All right, there's a third party. Wait, is there another girl on his radar, or what's this third party going on? Christopher says, "Uh-oh." I'm going to take a smoke of my sacred tobacco vape juice. Yes, he is seeing someone. Girl, then what the fuck are you doing, Leo? Is he dating someone or is he like in a relationship with someone? Very Leo of you. Christopher says very Leo of you. A love triangle. No, just dating. Okay, just dating. So he's dating you. So he's dating you too. So he's just dating around. You know, I have a Scorpio moon and rising. We could go into this if you want. All right. What energy does Yashira need in order to attract him over this other person? Okay, this is Galatia. This is the dark arts. This is Slytherin. This is high Slytherin energy, but what does Yashira need to do to win this guy? What energy do you need to do to get Spirit's not gonna like it because I have a good relationship with my spirits, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, girl, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't even ask that." They might even slap me in the face or give me some kind of ironic message, but we'll see. What would you need to do to like be number one? My spirits don't like that. They say heartbreak. You see these three? This is three. These are three. My spirits don't play. They won't allow for this shit. They won't. You can't ask this question. Can't ask this question. Heartbreak. So this, in a literal sense, maybe you're not the winner, but also Spirit is like, don't ask that question for me as a reader. So as a reader, I shouldn't have asked that question. So I think that's kind of on me. I gotta ask better questions. How does Ainslian feel about what is we just have a smoke of my sacred tobacco and my sacred juice. That's my medicinal juice. Yeah, my spirits don't play. That was hilarious. I love it. They make me laugh all the time. My spirits do not play. What is the energy between Ainslian? I'm just gonna say Ainslian because whatever. And this other girl. What is the energy between their relationship? I think we can pry into that. I'm going to ask Spirit for permission to pry into their relationship. What's the energy between these two people? How are they going? What's the energy between... Oh, that's so funny. Thank you, Spirit. That made me laugh. What's the energy between Yashira and... Or no. What's the energy between these other two people? Sorry, I got confused. What's the energy between these other two people? Oh. I got Page of Swords in reverse. That could be speaking to how I just had that miscommunication in my thinking. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking clearly. Okay. I shouldn't drink when I read, but anyway. How are they doing? Spirit. Calling the angels. How are they feeling about each other? Because we want to get to the truth. If you belong with him or if she belongs with him. How does he feel about her? Honestly, how does he feel about her? He's walking away from her. Part of him is walking away from her. There's this sense that they've built up some kind of rapport. They've got 8 cups, so they've got, like, banters. Maybe they've had some sex. They've been on lots of dates. They went to the park. They shared each other's dreams and their past and their childhood traumas. They did all these things. There's 8 cups here. But he's kinda walking away from her. And you say, "Laughing, laughing, and praise." Yeah. It's no laughing matter. He's kinda walking away from her, but maybe he's keeping her around. We don't know if he's still keeping her around, but we'll just say this, part of him is walking away from her. So does that mean he's walking towards you? I don't know. I'm getting this, like, um, abundant feeling, and, like, that he brings you a sense of peace. And Spirit is asking you to receive, so maybe part of you in your heart knows that you already got this guy, and it's just asking you to receive him. Maybe that's what Spirit's telling me. I think when I got this one in reverse, it was just me having a hiccup, but the tarot is kind of interesting that way. But anyway. So I think he's walking away from her. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. So what would be the energy if he starts what would be the energy of if Yashura and Ainsley started to ramp up their relationship? What's the energy of them starting to him walking away from her, but him walking towards Yashura? What's the energy of this guy walking towards Yashura? We can ask even like what's the highest good? Like what does God want kind of thing? What is in Yashura's best interest if she was to pursue? What is the energy of Yashura and Anzian from God's perspective? Okay. I'm getting a lot of pentacles for your guys' relationship. Like, I often see this one as witchcraft. Like, I see this as like a coven. I see this card as like a coven. I feel like you guys are coming together maybe for the creation of a child. I don't know how you feel about that. You as a Leo, you might probably be into that kind of thing. But like this kind of just genetic, so whatever's drawing you together is like for the creation of this third element, which could potentially be a child or like creating a house together or creating kind of like some third aspect. Um, I'm not getting an overly sentimental thing. I'm getting like a sense of abundance. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's weird, isn't it? You're 26, so you might be thinking about that kind of thing right now. But that just kind of came to mind because I'm getting getting 9, and that's 3 threes together, and the balance, there's sense of balancing of the 2 and the infinity, like forever. There's like that infinity sign, like a marriage symbol, and then like this third being or something is to be created or crafted through this union. And maybe that's what's drawing you together. Are you interested in having a child? That's what I would ask you. Are you interested in having a child? Because I think that's what is. Oh, there is possibility for a union. Yeah, there's a possibility for a union. But this is also 3 pentacles, and pentacles is a sign of 5, and that's 3 of 5s, 15. I don't know, and 3 pentacles, with him, yes, you said with him, yes, you'd be interested in having a child with him, yes. What's the energy of Yashira? Okay, of Yashira and this man having a child. What is the energy of Yashira and this man having a child? What's the energy of Yashira and this Anzian guy having a child? Okay, I think it would be slightly difficult. It would be energetically difficult for you. Okay, clarify. What's the energy of Ainslian and Yashira having a child? Maybe the labor would be difficult. It could be anything. There would be like some difficulties associated with it. Energetically, it'd be a bridge too far or something. What's the energy of Ainslian and Yashira having a child? What's the energy of Ainslian and Yashira having a child? Ainsley and Yashira having a child. Ainsley and Yashira having a child. Ainsley and Yashira. Okay. And Yashira having a child. Spirit. Spirit, what's the energy of Ainsley and Yashira having a child? Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. It's a sweet notion, and there's some energy involved. Almost like it's prayed over. This is an air suit as well as um this is a combination of or is this fire? This is air and water. So there's like it's almost like prayed over. The two of you would have like maybe prayed for this, or the genetic lineage, or something about like the cosmos, or like the space between space is like urging you in a way to have a child maybe with him, and maybe that's what's driving you on. So sometimes we're drawn to people, and a lot of children are born, and as a preschool teacher I know this, a lot of children are born into this life as if by some sort of mystery. It's a unique confluence of many things, but like it doesn't necessarily mean that the mother and father were meant for each other, but it means that just the child was supposed to be born through them. And I did get this like abundant sign, and I'm getting a lot of pentacles for you. So there's almost like there's something is supposed to be like manifest through you guys in the material realm. And if it's like a child or something, I'm not really sure. I'm getting that there will be maybe some difficulties with this. Could be difficulties with conceiving, or like a difficult labor, or there would be some difficulties involved. But I think this is like somehow okay. What is the energy? Okay, what is God's perspective on them having a child? We'll ask that. What is God's perspective on them having a child? I don't usually talk to God, but let's talk to God. What's God's perspective on these people having a child? I'm usually too shy to talk to God, but God, what do you think about these people having a child? Excuse me. What do you think about these people having a child? God, what is the ultimate perspective on these people having a child? The moon in reverse. Whoa, 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 whoa. The moon in reverse. Moon in reverse. I'm trying to think. The moon, illusion, mystery, intuition, Cancer. The underworkings. This seems like maybe I'm off course. Maybe this isn't what's being asked. Maybe I'm off course. I could be off course. Spirit, what am I not asked? What am I not seeing? Spirit, what energy am I not seeing? The moon in reverse, the energy, God's perspective. God's perspective is that, I think maybe God's perspective is that there is a moon energy going on. So that there is like an undercurrent of, okay, there is an undercurrent of like some sort of there is some sort of like causality or karmic cycle that you guys are in where like a child is maybe supposed to be created through you guys, but from God's perspective, it would maybe be a shame. Like I see children that are born into this world that are maybe not supposed to be here. I know that's a weird thing to say as a teacher and as a person and as a human being on this earth, but there was I see like there was a karmic domino effect that created them, but in the way that they're presenting and the way that they are interpreting their life, like there's something like wrong. And with a third person in the dynamic here, this is already like shaky ground. This is already like a rocky start to a relationship. So any child born out of this, where you're kind of a third wheel or you're like a third option or something like that, any child born into this kind of situation is gonna have some kind of, there's gonna be an absence of purity. There's gonna be something that's not quite like a straight line, like man, like husband meets wife, you know, perfect, like that kind of perfect way that some people, and I've met perfect children that were like, you know, they met each other at a fateful, they met each other in high school or something like that, and like they've been in love since they were 16 years old, and they built their careers, and after they built their careers, they, you know, they went to the doctor and checked on their eggs, and he checked on his sperm and made sure everything was okay, and then the whole process was completely like prayed for, like the whole process was like that, and like these children come out like completely present, completely in the moment, completely like well adjusted. But there are children that are like a little bit like, and they will go on to call themselves indigo children or crystal children, or they're like, I'm a little bit neurospicy, I'm like neurodivergent, I'm autistic. It's because you weren't entirely meant to be here or something, you know. Uh it's a weird thing to discuss and say or out loud and stuff like that, but I can tell the children that were prayed for. I can tell the ones that were a little bit of a mistake or a little bit of like something else was in the mix that was pushing the parents to like, oh, create something, and like to create something. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure, but I did get that there's like some genetic there's like and maybe his finances are kind of like alluding you into this sense that like having a child with him will be a good thing, but from God's perspective, this is not good. I don't think this is good. Okay. What is the ultimate God's perspective on this relationship between Yeshua and Anzian? What is the ultimate perspective from God? What is the ultimate perspective from God on this relationship? Yo, this is not right. This is not right. This is not a good relationship. Although he brings you peace, from God's perspective, okay, God is harsh. All right, God is freaking harsh. I could ask some other lower spirits and they might be into it, but like from God's perspective, you are somehow bound, and maybe it's his finances having will eventually have some sort of domination over you, where you're playing a small role in his like large life. and you're already a second option in his life kind of thing. So maybe like in the grand scheme of things, like we'll say like 20 years down the track, you're like a 60-year-old housewife and you're like cooking and cleaning after him. You're doing all the, you're filing all the taxes, you're doing all the work around, you're doing all this shit around him. You're like, you raised the whole child all by yourself. He didn't play a big part in it. He was sleeping around kind of thing. He had all the money and stuff like that. And then he's like sleeping with like, he's having affairs on you. Kind of, I don't know what could possibly be the case, but from God's perspective, you're bound. You've got like your hands tied behind your back. But I think there is like a possibility to create a child with him, but I don't think this child will be like a happy child and become like a happy adult eventually. Okay? So I'd say leave it. Yeah, and that's a really harsh. I was feeling, because I was telling you like these oracle cards are like a little bit. Okay, so I got receive and I got peace. What can Yeshua receive from this relationship? I'm gonna ask my spirits, what can she receive from it? Because I talk to the moon in reverse. That's like one of my spirits is the moon in reverse. I talk to the shadow. So what could she receive from this relationship? I talk to the shadow and stuff. What could she receive from a relationship, or should she just cut it off? But what could she receive from this relationship with this guy? But you got God's perspective. I would just not. Again, waiting for a child. Waiting. See the pentacle. I got another pentacles card. What could she receive? Waiting for a child. If you really wanted to be like a mother, but like a single mother, kind of. Or all this beauty, all these treasures that you have in yourself. You're just waiting for them to be acknowledged, or you're just waiting for the creation of a child. You're just waiting for someone to like think you're so fucking hot and so fucking beautiful, or that you could be an amazing mother or something. I need to move on then. Yeah, I think you need to move on, Yeshua. And then Christopher says, DW, I was a mistake, baby, and I'm fine. You're a mistake. I was a mistake. Like my mom has told me numerous times that she wishes she was never a mother, that she wishes she had never had children. I'm a mistake child. Yeah, they come out weird. They can be like a bit psychic or something, but it's not like an easy life. It's not like an happy, straightforward like path. You have to make your own way. So you could make like potentially a psychic child with this guy. But I think like in the long term, this is you with him. I think his dominance over you, his money, his wealth, would I don't know, you just have to be careful with this type of person. Because there is something in the air that's like leading this on. There's some kind of task that you guys are potentially, it seems like a karmic relationship. This seems like a karmic relationship. For the purposes of having a child, it's like really old world, old school, like to bring forth the child kind of thing. It's really old world. But like, where does that leave the woman? And I'm a feminist. I'm into that new shit. I'm into that new feminist shit, and I think it leaves you in a really shitty position in the next like couple decades, where you pretty much did all the work, and the child is maybe a little bit bruised. What's the energy of the man that Yeshua needs in her life? What's the energy of the man that Yeshua needs in her life? What's the energy? I'm not going to take those. That wasn't ready. What's the energy of that? What's the energy of the man that Yeshua needs in her life? What's the energy of the man that Yeshua needs in her life? What's the energy of the man that Yeshua needs in her life? What's the sun? Yeah, that's just you. Back to you. Maybe another Leo. A really positive guy. A really happy guy. Fun-loving. Something lighter. Lighter, like not so much like we're going to have a child. We're going to have the prophetic child. Something lighter, happier, more easygoing. Whimsical. Fun-loving. Charming. Beautiful. Easy to talk to. Lighter, on the lighter side of God, like God, Son, God, Jesus. Something purer, like with more purity, not when like another woman's involved. That's like darkness. That's like shadow. That's like moon energy. Something lighter. Like you meet a guy, he's single and he's ready to mingle. Freaking whatever. Not some guy that's already tied up with another girl, but he's like kind of walking away with her, but he's playing like games with her, keeping her around for sex or whatever, you know. So one more card for the guy that Yeshua needs in her life. One more card for the guy that Yeshua needs in her life. Come on. One more card for the guy that Yeshua needs in her life. Spirit, one more card for that she needs in her life. Oh, the Nine of Cups, a lover boy. It'd be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Someone abundant, someone not overflowing with wealth, someone who's got just enough money, you know, someone who's emotionally ready. Someone who doesn't have another girl on the side. Someone who's emotionally ready and who's maybe gone to therapy. Someone who's emotionally available. An abundantly happy human being. Full of light. This is what you need, Leo. This is cool energy. I don't have my boyfriend's like the devil and kind of the Hierophant was plus kind of like a shadow, like the high priestess. That's my boyfriend. Occasionally the tower, you know. I don't have an easy relationship. My boyfriend's weird. This is beautiful and light and fresh and fun and funky and emotionally stable and emotionally stable and buoyant. Are you still with me? Are you getting this? Like an emotionally stable man who's got love to give. Love to give. Not love to like portion out and give to this woman and some to this woman. And what do we see on this? We see a child. So there is possibility for a child as well. Okay. Yeah, my boyfriend's scary. Yeah, my boyfriend is a wee bit scary. He's the ultimate scary. Yes, I'm here. Yeah. So the sun and the ninth. And I really asked, and I was really in touch with spirit when I asked this, and like someone who's like emotionally, like really with it, kind of thing. Who, yeah. Ainsley is quite pessimistic person. Ew. Ew, you don't need that, Leo. Ew. You need someone who's optimistic. This is an optimistic guy. You one of those happy guys that's just happy. He's just happy to be. He's just happy to freaking be here. Let's see this guy's got his arms crossed and he's looking all happy. He's not pessimistic. He's just taking in the scenery. You see how this is a Buddha. This is a little Buddha guy. You need to find a little Buddha man. I was talking about Nepal and the Buddha earlier today. A laughing Buddha. I was talking about that. You need to find a laughing Buddha. Someone who laughs. Someone you can laugh with. Not someone who's like taking the piss all the time. Okay. But yeah, with this, there's like a karmic cycle with this other guy and possibility for a child, and you just kind of waiting around and being one of those sad housewives. So anyway, I gotta pee. I gotta pee. I might go unless Christopher wants a reading. Then you have to let me go pee, and then I can come back and give you a reading. I'm done with your reading now. I through automatic. I automatically shuffled. I put your cards back in the deck. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, you're done. That was your reading. I hope that you take the advice and don't be stupid. It seems like you have some conflicting feelings about men, or like your men are always on your mind, but finding someone who's not so pessimistic, someone who's a little more optimistic, like the sun. Look for someone who reminds you of the sun, and that's your energy back to you, someone who reminds you of yourself. Leo, ruled by the sun, but also ruled by Pluto. Don't tell anyone. It's also ruled by Pluto. Leo is also ruled by Pluto. Astrology, faux pas. You want a reading? Okay, I gotta go pee. Let me go pee. Ah! All right. The oracle is back. It helped me. I think they're gone now. Okay. They got what they wanted and they left. All right. Christopher, are you still here, or who's still here? If you want a reading, I'll give you a reading. Just have to ask me a question, and I'm like a jukebox. Put a coin in the machine and I'll start talking. I'll start shuffling. Or do you want a famous general reading? I'm cold. Beer. Now I'm a bit bored. I'm bored. And reading? I have to like not be bored to give you a reading. How long my hair is. Down to my butt. What's your question, dude? Yeah, should I remain happily single or should I pursue an actual relationship? You're 30 and you live in Alabama and you want to know if you should stay single. This whole it's reminding me of this whole, maybe you're part of this movement of men going their own way. MGTOW? No. That was that was in the news like a couple years ago. But also these like Japanese men who just kind of play video games all day. And like they live in their mom's basement or whatever, and they've sworn off women kind of thing. Do you consider yourself kind of like that? Are you like chronically online and women give you weird feelings and you are more comfortable like with your screen, your chat GPT and your constant news cycle or whatever it is that you're into? I think I just saved that woman's life, actually. Fucking hell. Oh, I just got this again. Chains. She would have been in chains. Infinity forever, like creating some child forever in chains. I'm not an incel, lol. Okay. You're not an incel, all right. All right, just for fun, let's ask. I'm just going to put my energy. I'm not going to shuffle. These cards are stiff. They're hard to shuffle. I'm just going to put my energy into them. Christopher Bazinet. Christopher Bazinet. Hafiz. What's the energy of Christopher? Finding love. What's the energy of Christopher? Finding love. Spirit. Hafiz. 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 What's the energy of Hafiz? What's the energy? Christopher. Hafiz. Song of Joy. I think a woman from Hafiz's, the spirit of Hafiz from his perspective, it would bring about some joy, some fresh energy. It's not a bad idea so far. We're gonna dig deeper. I already shuffled these. All right. Spirit, what's your perspective on Christopher putting himself out there into the dating? Okay, that's the second time my cards have gone a bit kaputz, but that could just be me. Okay. Spirit, what's the perspective on what's the general energy of Christopher this is the card of it's the Lord of Blended Pleasure. The Lord of blended pleasure, I think. So I think you're a little apathetic to go into it. You're a little bit like, do I really need it? But you kind of already have expressed that. You see how there's these 3 cards in the front? And then, like, spirit or, like, destiny or, like, the almighty creator is, like, offering you this cup, this opportunity for love, and you're just kinda sitting by this tree and you're like, eh, I would like my finances in order too." Okay. I feel like this is going to be my year. Really? Okay. I would like my finances in order to. Okay, so when you're approaching love, the first card I got, and the first card is often significant. It's kind of like the definitive card. It's like the first card that spirit wants to tell you. It's like there is a sense of apathy. There's an opportunity here for love, and like this is the suit of love. Like cups speaks to emotion, love, relationships. So there's an opportunity, literally a cloud offering you love, and you're a little bit like apathetic. So this could even be like in the near future as things progress, like there are opportunities for love that you kind of bypass or that you don't really take seriously or you're not too true of. And maybe it's because you don't have your finances in order, or maybe it's because certain things are not in place. Or maybe it's because you're not trusting of love, or maybe you have some trauma around relationships. You're 30, so you might have had some serious relationships that have kind of let you down already, and so you're trepidatious at this point, but you're also just in a kind of a sense of I'm getting some apathy around the whole notion. You're like, I don't even know. I don't even think I want to do it, or should I do it, or what is this? What is this? We could ask spirit like what is God? We could talk to God. We could ask what God thinks. What we could think about, like we could think about lots of different ways, like children, or what's the whole point of it, this heterosexual love? Like, what are you trying to get? Me and my boyfriend are just like spiritually connected. We just are like doing something kind of different than what other heterosexual relationships do. I'm just the weird witch who's having the weird dreams and things like that when he's having his weird spirit connections, and we come and we talk about our weird spirit connections, and then we have all these synchronicities that match up, and then that's confirmation, and then we feel good, and then we walk away. And then we have these dogs, and we're obsessed with our freaking dogs, and we share finances and stuff like that, and there's certain perks to it, like, we share finances, we split the bills, sometimes I clean the house and he does this, and or he'll mow the lawn and then I'll mow the lawn and then he'll clean the house, and, there's certain, like, perks and things like that, and then we go through these spiritual phases where we'll either take a lot of mind altering substances, and then we'll have, like, these shared dialogues about our epiphanies and stuff like that, and then we it's like this meeting of minds where we talk about our co-experiences, and then we separate and we actually sleep in separate bedrooms, and we live and we are on different schedules, but when we meet, we're like, and then we're oop, and then we're gone. And that's kind of our dynamic. I know that's and when we have no plans on having children, like I said, I'm 32. I have no plans on having children. He doesn't want to have children. I've long since I've never wanted to have children. There was like a year where I thought I might have I had some weird dreams where I was going to have a child, but that was karmic and weird. And I've like in the washing machine of my subconscious and conscious, I've cycled through that, and I don't want to have children. And now I just have dogs and my own spiritual fulfillment, and he's on his own spiritual quest, and we're both on like a spiritual quest, and that's our relationship. We're both like he's like a wizard, I'm like a witch, and we do our own little weird thing, dance in this weird existence, and we're both kind of a little bit, I guess, we're just a little we're both alternative people, and we just coexist, and we love each other, and we have loyalty. And we look out for each other. We cheer each other up if we're having a bad day and stuff like that. And there's some practicalities to it that are like probably typical of a heterosexual relationship, but um yeah. But for you, yeah, this whole dating thing, you're like, "Hey, what was it? What's going on? Was it, oh, you wanna go you see some love? Some love? You wanna fucking love? You wanna get it's gonna be my sweetie pie? You gonna be my sweetie pie, baby? Baby cakes, come on, what you got? What you got? What you got? Oh, yeah, this is, that's a nice, this, next. This is you. Ah, sweetie, come on. Show me something. Show me something else. What you really gonna do for me? What you really gonna do for me, sweetie pie? You gonna cook me some eggs and steak? You gonna freaking like do my laundry? You gonna fucking take me out on a nice dinner? Give me a nice conversation? You gonna fucking like rub my back when it's sore at the nighttime and then rub it with a nice freaking massage oil and the nice time. You're gonna have the nice time with me. Baby cakes. Baby cakes, sweetie pie. You're gonna take me to your mother's house. You're gonna baby sweetie pie. We're gonna sit there, gonna have a nice chicken dinner, baby. Oh, sweetie. What are we gonna make the baby? Okay, make the baby, and then what? We made the baby. Now what? Now what? We made the baby. Now what? Now what? 18 years of making the baby, raising the baby, raising the baby. It's a hard life having a baby, dude. I'll tell you what, I'm a teacher. If you're going to have a baby, just buckle in. Buckle in, baby, because that's every day, all day. You want to make the baby? You better want to make the baby. Do you want to make a baby? That's a lot. Make it a baby. Make it a baby. Although I would say one of the highest forms of witchcraft, making a baby. Really, from your flesh and bone. That's pretty high art. It's weird dating at this age. So you're so in your 4 of Cups energy. It's weird dating at this age. It's weird. Girls are funny. But they smell like flowers. And their breasts is a bosom from their chest. It's weird. It's weird dating at 30. Dude, it's weird being alive at 30. Our ancestors were dead at 35. I should be a grandmother. We should not be freaking alive. It's only by fucking science that we are still here. 150 years ago, the freaking life expectancy of a person on this planet was 35, like tops. Yeah, it is weird. Most of that love stuff, and I've been talking about this with Paulina, my friend. Most of that love stuff and the real juice of love and commitment and fidelity with another human being, that happens when you are literally 17. 17. The strongest babies that a woman will make are when she is like 16. That is a strong baby. Her body will bounce right back. She'll have enough energy to raise that baby, keep up with the baby. 16, 17, 18. All that lovey, dovey. 30, it's just like, it's kind of like memorabilia. It's like, oh, it's just something to love a person. It's like an old man, like, oh, it's to love a woman. All right, yes. To really, to love another, to be. We'll sit there. I'll have my paper and my coffee, and she'll be over there with her eggs and we'll it'll be us against the world. You're just sharing finances. There's just practicalities at a certain age. Yeah, you're right. At 30, it's just like what is it? I got shit to do. I got my finances to get in order. This life, God, I don't know how many more years I'm gonna. I don't know. I got my 401. I got my retirement. I got my savings account. I got I still want to have a little fun on the weekend, but I can't drink too much because I get hangovers now. Like my back hurts. All these people in their 30s and 40s trying to and all these women in their 40s that are trying to attract men. They're like, I'm gonna put on the leopard print, the cigarette and the sexy, trying to do this thing. It's like, no, it's when you are having that weird, awkward sex when you're 16 and you're humping like rabbits. That is, genetically speaking, that is the prime time. that is like the strongest babies. But unfortunately, in this society that we're in, nobody's financially stable enough to raise them properly or whatever. But yeah, the real love and all that kind of emotions and the hormones, all those hormones, are really at their peak at 20, and then everything's a little bit downhill from there. And it's your own. It's like a choose your own adventure. It's your own adventure after that. By the time you're 30, it's your own sacred path. So you're right in asking, do I really need a fucking woman? Maybe you don't fucking need a woman. Honestly, it's just a side dish to your life, or it's just it's a companion, or it's a friend. It's like a roommate, a good conversation, some sex, occasionally some sex, and if you are really in this, all that stuff about I want to have a kid is I want to get the bloodline or the legacy, or I want to see myself in another person's eyes. I want to see I want to see my face on somebody else's face. If that's inside of you, then maybe that's inside of you and that's something you need to explore. And maybe that's even divinely guided for you. God's spirit works in mysterious ways. Some people are destined to have children and should have children, probably. Definitely. 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 Some people are supposed to have children, and some people are supposed to have children at 30. Some people are supposed to have children at 40. Some people are supposed to have children, genetically from a scientific perspective. People are supposed to have children at 16. Dare I say 14? I don't know. Literally. That's a bit, it's a dicey subject to get into. But yeah, I was listening to this Peter Attia podcast about fertility and stuff, and yeah, the eggs and the body is the most robust and juicy and ready at literally 15 for a woman to have a child. That's when you're gonna get your strongest baby. But we handicap people in this day and age where we keep them in a suspended state of adolescence until they're 18. You're not considered an adult until you're 18. Dude, I had my shit packed and packed by the time I was 12. I was ready to, by the time I was 12, I was ready. I had already been catcalled a million times by the time I was 12 by older men. I was ready to go at 12. I was I had the world figured out by 12. That's why I just stopped listening. I just stopped listening to my mother and we had a lot of problems. I had a lot of problems growing up. Anyway. But yeah, this artificially suspended state of adolescence, there needs to be more they say, some of these primitivist people are we need to initiate people. We need to initiate the old initiation, send them off into the forest with just a rucksack and a lighter, and let them fend for themselves and figure out who they are as a person. We don't have any initiation rituals anymore for people. Spirit, what is the energy of Christopher finding a woman? Spirit, what is the energy of... It's a terrible question. Spirit, what is your perspective on Christopher dating a woman right now? Spirit, what is your perspective on Christopher dating... Okay. The High Priestess. I don't know if that's me or you. Spirit, what is your perspective on... I think that was more me. Okay, Spirit, what is your perspective on Christopher dating a woman? We got the Knight of Wands. There's some energy behind it. It's like a project that you could put some energy behind. It's more like it's more like theoretical, or it's more like in your energy body. It's more like an energy that you could put towards something, like a project. It's not necessarily like your soul mission, but it's like a project that you could embark on. It's like this project that you think you should embark on. Like you're a knight, you're gonna storm the castle of love. You sort of... I have an ex-girlfriend I still talk to. Okay. I love it when they add like new information like midway through my reading. Are you still in love with her? Are you still hung up on her? Hold on, I'm gonna get a cigarette. I'll be right back. Okay. You have an ex-girlfriend that you're still hung up on? She kind of comes and goes. I don't know really what she wants. You want me to ask about her? Okay. I'll ask about her. Spirit. What is the energy between Christopher and this girl? And his ex-girlfriend. Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what is the energy between Christopher and his ex-girlfriend? Spirit. I got the Lovers. Is she the love of your life, or I think you're still in love with her. Are you still in love with her? That's pretty big. That was a major arcana card. Are you still in love with her? I don't like this. He said, aw, yeah. You want to look at that again? The Lovers. She was a high school crush. Yeah. Sometimes those are the best. That the kind of like the first couple of relationships you had growing up. I think that's Gabriel. We met later in life. Yep. I asked that with all my heart. I was like really in the I was really in the mode, like talking to spirit. So yeah, I got the Lovers. What's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with this ex-girlfriend of his? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with this girl? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with this girl? Of his ex-girlfriend, with the Lovers. What's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with him, with her? No. Sorry for my malfunctions today. Spirit, what is the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with his spirit? What's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with his Lovers? Ex-girlfriend. Spirit, what's the energy? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with his ex-girlfriend? Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship with Spirit? What's the energy of Christopher pursuing a relationship? Oh. I'm getting a sense that there's like some baggage. Like it's a mental catastrophe. It's a dead end. Let's clarify. Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Nope. Okay, maybe. Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Christopher and his ex-girlfriend. Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Spirit, what's the energy of them? Okay, I'm getting mixed messages, but I'm not taking any of these messages. Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Nope. Spirit, what's the energy of them having a relationship? Spirit, what's the energy of them having Sorry, it doesn't want to come out, or I don't want it to come out, or Spirit doesn't want to tell me. I'm trying. Sorry, I'm getting like, I think I want to go, so I'm partly a little bit blocked. Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher and I kind of want to go. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's not really grounded. I'm not really grounded. Spirit, what's the energy of Christopher and his ex having a relationship? Just tell me. It's easy. It's just a relationship. Who cares? What's the energy of these people having a relationship? Thank you. The Hierophant. Traditional. It's going back to your roots. It's going back to high school. It's all lined up for you. It was like your first love. Is it it's practical, it's like traditional, it's like orderly. It's like a archetypal man-woman relationship. Girl meets boy, boy meets girl type of thing. That felt clear. That came out clearly. Spirit, just another card for this relationship between his ex and thanks. Okay, so it's like you're not fighting yourself as much anymore. You're not like defending your ground. It would be like an easy traditional love. Um I have a feeling that this card was more about me because sometimes a tarot reader gets it kind of put into the reading, and this is kind of how I'm feeling. Is a sense of like I want to go, and I've been talking too much. I feel like I've overburdened myself with voice, and I've maybe even said too much, and I kind of want to go. And I'm not very grounded right now because I've been drinking, and I even got another cigarette. So, she has 4 kids. We both have baggage. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but it's nice to have someone to talk to. I need to go to sleep too. Yeah. Okay. Maybe this is that. There's a lot of children. And yeah, man and woman roles would be very strong. You would be like immediately a dad. Immediately, you would be like getting children up for school and like cooking breakfast and taking them to their sports and doing all these things. You would be like thrust into like some roles. And it's kind of easy. It's like there's kind of an easiness with it, and like the lovers, and there's something kind of sweet and nostalgic about it. She's got 4 kids. She's 30. She's got 4 kids. She's got 4 kids. Whoa. Yeah, it's sweet. It's cute. You guys were in love. It might be sweet, but do you want to be a father of 4 children? That's a lot of money as well. And you said that you're not financially situated. What is God's perspective on this relationship? We already talked to God once today. What is God's perspective on this relationship? 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 I'm calling God. God, what is your perspective on this relationship? God, what is your perspective on this relationship? God, what is your perspective on this relationship? Oh, I got nostalgia. I knew I was going to get this. Nostalgia in reverse. This is just nostalgia gone wrong. I knew it. I was like, what is that nostalgia card? It's a fucking 6 of Cups. This is just memories, and it's going to go sideways. I mean, I think it would just be burdensome for you. The promise of nostalgia and memories and sweetness is just kind of like pear-shaped. I think that's the promise, and this is what you actually get. The reality of it is just kind of like shattered broken memories. You see like fragments of the girl she used to be, but then she's like then you see her also kind of like taking care of these 4 children and like this new person that it's just you trying to relive these nostalgic memories, and it's not going to be as sweet. But yeah, you guys are kind of like the lovers, man. It could have been, it should have been, would have been, different timeline, different time, different space. And this is healing for me to read because as I read, I learn about myself as well, man. Could have been, should have been, would have been. Yeah. Bless her heart. Oof, don't say that. Yeah, no, this is the card of memories, nostalgia, good times. I got it in reverse. It's like this is what you want it to be. Like that sweetness that you guys had as teenagers, but it's just like it's not going to be that. And this is from God's perspective. So there's like, but half it said the prospect of woman for you is a song of joy. So maybe like looking into other women, opening yourself up, move on past that high school relationship, look into other different women if you're interested in it, and follow your own intuition. I got the High Priestess. I don't know if that was for me or for you, but it's like it's asking you to follow your own intuition in these matters. The woman will come to you. This is a High Priestess. She'll come to you. But yeah, there's a lot of burden. This wasn't about me. This was about you, man. This is about both of us. I think we're co-experiencing this burden as we're both trying to leave this chat. And you're trying to leave this woman behind. Yeah, and I even got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, that's a woman who's got 4 kids with a baby daddy who ran away. Is that what I'm getting, kind of thing? So yeah. All right, anyway, I gotta go. I am now putting the cards away. And I'm going to go do stuff. Other stuff. Let me go do other stuff. Yeah, man, just leave her alone. 4 kids. Trust me, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. That's just practically speaking, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Peace out. Have an easy life, dude. Life is hard. And look up a song called Old Alabama. Old Alabama. YouTube. Old Alabama. All right, see you later.